So today's class, we are going to be continuing with yesterday's theme of side body opening. And you are going to need a little bit of wall space a little bit later in the class. And unless you're feeling strong in your balance, then you won't need a wall. But it's quite nice to do what we're going to do against the wall because you can really get into it without having to worry about the balance. Okay, guys, so we're going to start lying down on stomachs. You come down onto your tummy. Place one palm on top of the other or one forearm on top of the other and drop your forehead onto your forearms or your hands. So we have nose pointing down to the ground. Take a few relaxed breaths, melting down nice and heavy with each out breath. Feeling the body sink. Now stretching back into your toes so the heels are lifted. We're starting with a half frog. So we'll reach back with right hand, take hold of your ankle or your toes and draw your heel in towards the back of your thigh or towards your right bum. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips, not wider. Preferably nose still pointing down so that the sides of the neck are both doing the same thing. Stretching long into the left toes. And then letting go of that right foot and changing over to the other side. Once again, check that your knees are in line with hips and not wider. Keep the right heel pointing up. Each exhale, sink into the collarbones. Soften into the front body. Letting go of your left foot. And now we're going to come into a very gentle rolling baby cobra. So sliding your hands back, palms face down alongside your chest with the elbows pointing up, nose points down. As you breathe in, lifting your chest just slightly off the mat. As you exhale, lowering back down. Now as you roll up and down, it's just little rolls. But keep the shoulders lifting as high as you can the whole time. Don't drop those shoulders down to the mat as your chest lowers. Lengthening through the back of the neck. So we're just gently warming into shoulders, arms, and back muscles. Inhale lifts you, exhale lowers you. You roll up and down one more time. And then from there, we're going to move into Sphinx arms. So sliding the forearms forward, elbows under shoulders or further forward in front of the line of the shoulders, not behind. Don't have elbows back like that. And drop your chin. Relax the back of the neck. Become a little bit more conscious of your breathing. Relax the eyelids. Soften into the eyebrows and all the muscles around the edges of the eyes. And now we're going to take us into the side stretch. So walking your forearms towards the right side of your mat. Slide your right elbow out and rest your forehead down on your right forearm. Stretch the left arm out to the left. So we're curving the whole body towards the right, or the upper body towards the right, but your heels still point up. Stretch into those left fingertips and keep sinking into the left shoulder, sinking into both hips on each side. And walking up onto your forearms again and around to the other side. We'll slide the left elbow out to the left. Sink your forehead to that left forearm or wrist or hand and reach through the right arm. Once you're stretching through the right arm, sink a little bit deeper into your armpit on the right side. Sink into both the hip bones. Relax your neck. And then we're going to come back to center. We're making our way up onto hands and knees for our cats and our cows. So parallel the shins behind your knees. And then with your in-breath, lift your chin, look forward, sink the hips and the spine down. On your out-breath, round your back up. Tuck your chin to your throat nice and tight to stretch out the back of your neck. Keep rolling from one side of the body to the other. Keep breathing deeply. And just check that those arms are straight. Try not to bend your elbows. Toenails are on the mat. Coming back into your flat back. Bring big toes to touch. Open your knees out to the edge of the mat. Sink your hips back towards your heels and reach your arms forward, dropping your forehead down. And now reaching into your fingers, walk your hands off the right side of your mat and stretch through the left side body again. Just letting the head hang or melting your forehead into the floor. If you're stretching more through your left side than your right side, that's fine. We'll get to the right side in a moment. And walking your hands forwards and off to the other side. So there we go. Getting a little bit longer into the right side body now. Don't worry if your hips are not all the way back towards your heels. Maybe they're lifted and hovering in the air. That's fine. And walking your hands forwards again. We're going to move into some sliding cobra vinyasas. So looking forwards towards the top of your mat. Keep your chest down low as you slide up onto your tummy. On an in-breath, curl up into your cobra. As you breathe out, lower your chest to the ground. Then pushing into palms, lift your chest. Sit back to your heels, stretch the arms. And then we keep going, looking forwards. Keep your chest as low as you can as you slide up onto your belly. On an in-breath, lift the chest. Don't do it on an out-breath. On an out-breath, lower down. Pushing back to sit to heels. And then you keep going in your own time. Stay completely present with your breath as you move. Keep the back of the neck soft. I'll take one more slide forwards. Next time you sit back to your heels, we'll stay there. And then making your way back up onto hands and knees. So once more, knees under hips, arms under shoulders, flat spine. Walk your hands again to the right side of your mat. We're coming to our side baby down dog. Hips stay over knees. Stretch your arms out to the right. Hang your head. Don't force your forehead to the ground. If your forehead gets down easily, that's fine. But if it doesn't, let the head hang. And then walking your hands back up onto your mat and off to the other side. Still thighs and hips over the knees. Walking palms back to center again. We'll tuck toes, lift those knees, press into your downward facing dog. From down dog, walking feet forwards to hands, standing forward bend at the top of the mat. Always sink down over thighs. If you need to, bend those knees. Just let the head hang, arms nice and heavy. Gently pressing out with inner thighs, knees and calves. And now we're going to warm into shoulders and into the back a little bit more, floating up and down with the breath. On your inhale, circle your arms out to the side and up. As you breathe out, fold back down. Wide circle the arms as you lift and as you lower. Keep floating up and down with the breath in your own time. Full breath to widen the spaces between your ribs each time you inhale. Deep exhales, squeezing the belly back, warming into those abdominal muscles. Keep relaxing into your cheeks and your mouth. I'm going to float up and down one more time. Next time you fall down, staying there. And now we're going to take a lunge back with the right leg. So nice long step back, getting your left heel over your left knee. Wiggle your right toes back until they can't go back any further, and your right heel is lifting up nice and high for the full stretch over the sole of the foot and into the toes. And lengthen your chest forwards each time you breathe in. And we're stepping right foot forwards again, straight back with the left leg on the other side, right knee over the right heel. Keep taking your left toes back until they can't go back any further. You feel that little bit of a deepening in the stretch in the groins and the inner thigh. Still using in-breath to lengthen the spine and lengthen your chest forward. And then with a tight tummy, we step left foot to the top of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Knees are heel and hip distance apart as well. Let's hold on to forearms or elbows with hands. And now we're going to lift. On your inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Take a few stretches left to right here. Keep breathing. Keep pressing out with your knees to firm the leg muscles and give more support to your lower back as you bend left to right. Next time you come to center, pause a moment. With your in-breath, reach your arms up over your head, and on an exhale, fold down over your legs. From here, we're taking a low lunge back, guys. Right leg back, knee to the mat this time. Still front shin and knee over the front heel, fingertips on the ground. Lift with your chest, lengthen through the top of your head. Keep the sides of the neck lengthening as well. Really softening into your out breaths. And then tucking your right toes under, tummy tightens, then you step your right foot forwards, and we change, take the left leg back, knee down to the mat. Take your front shin and knee or over the front heel, lift your chest, don't lean onto your right thigh. Focus on your breath. Follow each breath in and out. And tucking your back toes under, and we're stepping forwards again. Feet again, hip distance, and knees as wide as hips and heels. Same as the last time, take hold of elbows or forearms with your hands. And on your in-breath, lift back up again. Forearms over the top of your head. This time we're going to tip to one side and hold it there. Gently turn your face down a little bit. Doesn't have to look all the way down, maybe just a little bit down. Just to release your neck. Coming up to center and exhale to the other side. Again, turning your nose a little bit down. Soften into tops of shoulders. And coming up to center. This time, releasing your arms down. Hug your shoulders back away from your chest. Lift your heart up high and lean to your spine. We're moving into sun salutations. With your in-breath, arms float up. On your exhale, fold down over thighs. Lean to fronts of shins as you fold. On the in-breath, half lift, stretch the chest forward, and take yourself back to down dog as you breathe out. Keep breathing, either staying in your down dog or flowing forwards on your in-breath, and then down with your out-breath. When we get into our back bend, whether it's cobra or upwards facing dog, just hold it for a couple of breaths. Make sure you're not pushing out of the arms. Remember that little clip that I posted a while ago to show you the correct alignment for your upwards dog. Okay, back to your down dog. And maybe go and check out that little clip just to remind yourself you're not doing injury in your shoulders. And looking forwards, take feet up to your hands. When you get there, as you breathe out, melt down over the thighs. And then we float up. On the inhale, arms to the sky. Either exhaling them to your sides or hands to heart. Straight back up as you breathe in. On the out breath, folding down. Half lift on an inhale. Keep breathing yourself back into your downwards facing dog again. Either holding down dog or float forwards on the in-breath and down on your exhale. Rolling all the way through, making your way back to hold your down dog again. Sink into the top of your head. Feeling your head grow a little bit heavier with each exhale. And now from our down dog, we're going to take feet to hands into a squat. So when you take your feet forward, take them wide as your wrists, or heels wide as your wrists, and then keep your heels on the ground as you lift your chest. We can have elbows to thighs. We can also have hands on knees. Keep helping those knees to widen with your arms. And then into standing forward bend. Again, bring your legs underneath your hips. Big toes turn in slightly. Okay, now when we rise, I'm going to come onto shins. You stay standing. With your inhale, arms go all the way up over your head. Keep them over your head. We'll take hold of left wrist with right hand. On your inhale, pull the arm up. On your exhale, tip to the side. And again, you can turn your head a little bit down towards the ground or your nose a little bit down towards the floor just to relieve that neck. Soften into shoulders, soften into back of the neck, soften into armpits. We come up to center. Change the grip, hold the right wrist before you tip to the side. Inhale and stretch the arm up, then bend to the other side. And maybe gently turning your face down a little. Keep watching the breath. Keep your breath moving. And then up to center. Keep the left arm up. Right hand onto right hip. Take shoulders towards your spine. On an in-breath, reach that left arm higher. And on your exhale, bend over to the side. Again, you can turn your head down a little bit. It'll feel a bit better on the neck if your neck feels like it's straining. Still breathing gently. And then up to center. Release left arm down. Again, shoulders to spine. And now when we inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up and really stretch to your fingers. On your exhale, tip over to the left. Face can turn a little bit down. Keep the breath moving. And then all the way up and releasing your arm to your side. And with your next inhale, stretch your arms up over your crown. On your exhale, bow down over your legs. We'll half lift and stretch the chest forward. And then we're going to take right leg back into a high lunge, keeping right hand on the ground for a twist. So left arm to the sky or left hand onto your left hip. Try to have the left thigh as close to parallel to the ground as you can get it. And don't let your left knee lean out away from your chest. Keep it hugging in towards the midline of the mat. Back leg nice and straight and long. On an exhale, arm comes down. We're stepping forwards with the breath and going straight over to the other side. Left leg back, right knee directly over your heel, left hand on the ground, right arm to the sky, or right hand on your right hip. Keep lengthening through both sides of your neck, stretching long through the top of your head to lengthen your spine. Breath is flowing easily. With an exhale, hand comes to the ground and we're stepping forwards. Now we're going to stay in our forward bend. So either just hanging the arms down and hanging your head, or holding onto your legs or your ankles with your hands. Give it a good deep forward bend. If it's too intense with straight legs, soften the knees or bend the knees. And tip your hips a little bit further forwards. And we're going to release hands, and on an inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Exhaling, arms down. We're turning sideways on the mat. And from here, we're going to take legs out into a V. So either step or hop your feet out. Check that your second toe from your big toe points straight to the long side of your mat. Those big toes are slightly turned in. And from here, we're going into triangle. So we're turning right toes to point to the short end of the mat. Let your hips twist a little bit to the right. And then square your chest to the long side of the mat. With an inhale, arms reach wide. On your exhale, stretch long through the right side body and then fold over. Hand to shin or ankle or fingertips to the ground. And now this is going to be a long side body stretch, guys. We're doing 3 poses here, half a minute each. Draw your armpits back away from your chest. Draw your shoulders towards your spine. And make sure that you are not dropping your right ear down to your shoulder. Lift your head and stretch long through the top of your head in the direction your toes are pointing, your right toes. Okay, now we're staying in the triangle. Take that left arm over your ear, and you've got to really make that left arm strong. So lock the elbow, because you're going to have your arm over your head for a whole minute. So lock the elbow and squeeze your bicep and tricep muscles tight onto your upper arm bone. Squeeze your fingers in towards each other to help firm into your forearm muscles. Make sure that your breath is flowing. Okay, now we're going to keep that left arm over the head, and we're moving into side angle pose. Bend into your right knee, either right elbow or forearm to your thigh, or fingertips down to the mat. And now get even stronger in that lifted arm. Lock the elbow even tighter. So we're lengthening and stretching at the same time. Keep breathing, guys. Minute and a half is a long time. Okay, well done. We're coming all the way up to center. Now that left arm can rest. Good, guys. Turning your right toes in. Look at your right foot. Check that the toes point to the long edge of the mat in front of your chest. And then we turn your left toes to the other short end of the mat. Let the pelvis twist a little bit to the left. Don't try and square your hips to the side of the mat. That's not good for your back. Okay, turning your chest square to the side of the mat though, because we've got that rotation in the rib cage. On an inhale, arms reach wide. On your exhale, coming into your triangle on the other side. Right arm straight up. And guys, make sure those feet are right. Don't have your feet in an incorrect position here. Again, it's a long time to hold a misalignment, which is not good for your joints. Keep twisting your left knee towards your left baby toe. And now right arm reaches over your right ear. Stretch long into the fingertips. Again, we're really working the strength in the upper arm here. Lock that right elbow straight, straight, straight. Squeeze the bicep muscles. Squeeze the tricep muscles on the outside of the upper arm. Squeeze your fingers in towards each other over your head. They're scissoring in together. And now that right arm stays where it is. Don't let the elbow bend as you bend your left knee. Either your left elbow to your thigh, or forearm to thigh, or fingertips down to the mat. And stretch that arm. Make it really long. Squeeze your muscles tight to your arm bones again. And keep breathing, guys. On an inhale, coming all the way up, arms drop down. Return feet parallel. Good. Heel toe or hop your feet into center. And we're going to come into a half chair pose. So if you need to, you go to the wall. I did say earlier we are going to do a wall pose. This is not the planned one with the wall, but you can use your wall for your half chair. And you can either go sideways, or you can do your bum to the wall, or you can face the wall. Okay, so we're balancing on right foot. Make sure your toes point straight forward. Left ankle up in your figure of four shape onto the thigh. Either hands on hips or hands at your chest. And then bend your right knee, sitting down. As the hips go down, as your right knee bends, chest lifts up nice and high. Squeeze your tummy tight. Focus your eyes gently onto your gaze point. And make sure you're not pushing your shoulders down away from the ears. Shoulders go back towards your spine, not down towards the armpits. Well done, guys. Now when you come up, bring knee to chest, align in the hip joint, and then foot down to the ground. Good, everyone. So left foot on the ground, toes point straight forward in the line of your chest. We bring right ankle to left thigh. Again, figure of four shape in the legs, either hands on hips or hands to heart. And when you're ready, bend your standing leg. As you bend your knee, chest goes up, belly squeezes back. Keep focusing on your breathing. When you come up, bring right knee to chest, and then foot down to the ground. Okay, we're going to kick the legs out a little bit. And then from here, taking your legs out into your V shape again. Hands on hips, shoulders to spine. Taking a deep breath, and as you breathe out, fold forwards. We're dropping fingertips or hands to the ground directly underneath your shoulders. So look at your arms and get the arms parallel to each other. Don't have your hands too close so that the arms are in a V. And then turn your heels in slightly, toes out slightly, and take our side lunges left to right. As you do this, your baby toe, the outer edge of the foot, the outer heel stays on the ground the whole time. Hands stay under the shoulders at the midline. Each time your shoulders come to center, the arms should be parallel to each other. Each time you bend your knees, stretch your hips back. Try to keep the chest lifting. Don't drop your chest to the ground. Keep going with your breath, left to right. And now next time you bend your left knee, we're going to hold it there. Right knee straight. Hands are still to center. Press that left knee out away from you. Don't lean it towards the left arm. Baby toes are still on the ground on both feet. Okay, coming to center. And then bending your right knee, left leg straight. Stretch the chest forwards. Try not to drop your forehead. Check those baby toes again and outer heels. Both feet on the ground. Don't lean into the inner ankles. And then coming to center, turn heels out, big toes back in, and fold all the way down. You can be on forearms or on hands, or just hang down. Relax your neck. Pressing the inner knees out away from each other, particularly if your knees are bent. If your knees are bending, you've got to work extra hard to press knees out. And now walking back up onto hands, hands under shoulders, just like before. Change your feet again, turn the toes out slightly, heels in slightly, and we're bending into the left knee once more. Now this time, bring your right hand to where your left hand is underneath your face, and we're going to twist left arm up to the sky or left hand on your left hip. Look down to the ground or turn your face to the side. Feel what is best for you. Keep that left knee pushing out away from you. Don't lean into the inside of the left calf and knee. Squeezing leg muscles tight to the leg bones to hold your balance. And then bringing left hand down. Stretch both legs straight, bringing your arms under your shoulders. Okay, keep your hands there as you bend your right knee, moving hips to the other side. We bring left hand under your face where that right hand is, and then twist right arm up or right hand on your right hip, lifting the shoulder and the elbow. Decide which way you want to turn your face, and then keep pressing your right knee out towards the right. Don't lean the right inner thigh towards your body. Feel the breath. And then bringing right hand down, both legs straight. Turn those big toes in again, and once more fold all the way down. You're welcome to hold onto legs with hands if you want to. And we're going to roll or come up with a flat spine. Lift on an inhale, bringing your feet in. And now we're going to use the wall if you need to. We're going into a tree pose. If you're doing your tree at the wall, do it with your back against the wall. Okay, so you don't have to do back against the wall. You can just do your tree normally. Again, this is not the pose that we are all going to do at the wall. That's coming in a moment. Okay, so if you're doing tree at the wall, your spine does not have to touch the wall. Try to get the shoulders back. Try to have your bum against the wall, not necessarily your heels. Okay, that depends on how big your bum is. If you've got a bigger butt like I do, then your heels will be nowhere near the wall. If you're flatter in the bum, your heels will be closer to the wall. Okay, so we're going to balance on, let's go right foot first, left foot to inside of the right calf or the inside of the thigh. Either hands on hips or hands to heart. Shoulders move to your back. And then maybe reaching your arms all the way up. And now if you want to, you can bring the arms parallel. You can have palms touching. You can have arms in a V shape. And you can even have elbows bent. You don't have to even take the arms up. Hands can be to heart or on hips. So find what is best for you this morning. Lengthen up through the chest. If you don't have your back to the wall, you need to focus your eyes on one point, focusing them nice and gently. Each in-breath, heart lifts higher. Good, everyone. Bringing arms down if they're lifted. Point your knee forwards and take your foot down to the ground. Okay, adjust your body. Okay, get the hips aligned, get the shoulders back, and then make sure you're standing, toes point straight forward before you bring your foot up your leg. When you're ready, palms place, either hands on hips or hands to heart, or breathing arms to the sky. And as the arms lift, the neck will tighten, the shoulders will lift, or tops of shoulders will lift. So try not to tighten your neck too much. Keeping the gaze soft, eyes relaxed. If your arms are up, bring them down. Point your knee forwards, lowering foot down to the ground. Okay, we're to come back onto mat. And once again, taking legs wide. Turning your right toes towards the back edge of the mat. Heels line up with each other. Pelvis twists, but square your chest to the long side of the mat in front of you. Inhale, arms wide. On an exhale, bend your right knee, coming into your warrior two. Okay, so you can turn your face in the direction your chest is pointing, or if you want to, if it's comfortable on the neck, turn to look over your fingertips on the right hand. And then keep taking your arms back towards your spine. We're going to move into a reverse triangle with an inhale, right leg straightens. Exhale, left hand to left leg or left hip. Try to hug that right upper arm in close to the side of your head and try to stretch the right elbow straight. If your hand is pushing into your thigh or your hip, push your leg back in towards your hand or your hip back in towards your hand. Good, guys. Coming up, we're going back into our side angle pose. Once more, we're holding for half a minute. Right elbow to thigh or fingertips to the ground. Left arm over your head. And if you really want to open in that left hip, tilt your head back. Look to your left fingertips. It's amazing how just tilting the head back gives you more stretch over the hip. not just into the chest and the throat. Keep breathing. Keep locking that straight elbow, squeezing arm muscles tight to the arm bones, and breathing deeply. Good, everyone. We're coming up to center. Turn the right toes in. Look at your foot. Make sure that it's aligned. Then turn the left toes open. And we're going into our warrior two. Inhale, arms wide. On an exhale, left knee bends. Pressing that left knee nice and wide. And then taking your arms back. So it's like you're trying to get your baby fingertips to touch each other behind you. Just get a little bit more open into the chest and the shoulders. From here, we're moving into our reverse triangle. On an in-breath, left leg straightens. Exhale, right hand to right hip or thigh or leg, and take that left arm over your ear. Keep twisting your left knee towards your toes, not in the direction of your chest. Soften the neck, sink the shoulders. And with an inhale, come up. Put a bend into the left knee, either elbow to thigh or fingertips to the ground, and reaching your right arm all the way over. Once again, lock the right elbow. Get that right elbow really straight. So we're working the strength in the arm muscles. Squeeze the tricep muscles. Squeeze the bicep muscles on the upper arm. Keep breathing to feed those muscles energy. And then on an inhale, coming all the way up. Left toes turn in, heel toe or hop your feet together. Okay, now we're all going to go to the wall, or if you want to, you can work this away from the wall, but it's quite difficult to balance, as some of you found yesterday when we did our weeping willow tree. So it's really nice to do it with back against the wall, because then you don't have to worry about the balance so much. You can really get into the stretch. Okay, so bum against the wall, shoulders back, left foot up, either to calf or to thigh. Right, now we're going to bring hands to heart. And you can just repeat the tree pose that you did the last time if you don't want to go into your weeping willow. If you're going for the weeping willow, arms stretch up. We keep the right arm up and then lower your left arm down. We're going to turn the left palm up, back of the hand down onto the knee or the thigh. So if your foot is on your calf, then your hand will be on your thigh. And either staying like this or we start to bend over. Now, as you bend and slide that right arm over, you're going to move your hips towards the right. Lean into the wall. Let the wall hold you up. Lengthen the top of your head away from your body. Don't drop your ear to your shoulder. Check in with your breath. Keep trying to stretch the top arm straight if you're folding over. And then coming slowly all the way up. Release the arms down. Point your knee forward. Step your foot to the ground. Okay, adjust your body. Release your joints. And we make sure left toes point straight forwards. When you're standing on that left foot, we bring right foot either to calf or above the knee on the thigh. Don't have your foot on your knee. Lean into the wall. Let it hold you up. And then either hands on hips or hands at chest, or we're floating arms up over your head. If you're taking your weeping willow, keep your left arm up. We'll take right hand, palm face up to the right thigh or knee. You don't have to go further than that. Maybe that's enough. Or you start to tip over. Then you lean your hips out to the left. Use the wall to hold you up as that left arm goes over your head. Try to keep the right arm straight, so your hand might slide off your knee. Lengthen through both sides of the neck. Don't drop right ear to shoulder. And feel that breath move. We're coming up to center. Release the arms down. Shoulders to the wall as you bring your right knee forward and step your foot down to the ground. Good, guys. So we're going to make our way to seating now. We're seated on your mat. We're coming straight down into cross legs. If you can't do cross legs, you keep your legs straight out in front of you, feet together. And then into our forward fold. So knees nice and wide if ankles are crossed. Tip over onto your hands. Stretch the arms long, guys. So as you know, we can do several versions here with the arms. And since this is a side body stretching class, don't drop the forearms down. Keep the elbows straight. And just keep walking those fingertips millimeter by millimeter away from you. Adjust your feet into the position that they feel comfortable. And relax the soles of the feet and the toes. We'll walk the hands all the way up. Change the cross of the legs. And then when you're ready, tip forwards onto hands again. Right, keep those elbows straight. Keep walking the fingertips forwards. As we always find in poses, we get into our pose, and then after a little bit of breathing there, we can maybe stretch a little bit longer. It's usually just a millimeter by millimeter, going deeper over time. Sink those knees, relax your leg muscles. And walking hands all the way up. We're going to open legs out into a V. We're coming into Pavrita Jana Shashasana. Bring your left foot in. If you can't get your foot to your thigh, bring your foot to where you can. If you need to, you put a cushion or a block or a rolled up blanket underneath the left calf or knee or thigh. Okay? And then flex your right ankle and we twist around towards the bent knee. Give it a really good twist here, but don't lift off your right bum. Keep the right butt and thigh down on the mat. We're going to lean right waist over to right thigh. Drop your shoulder down. Either rest on your hand or your forearm, wherever you feel you need to. Take your left arm up. And now we're going to reach arm over your head. And you can either keep that arm straight or bend your elbow and drop your left forearm to the top of your head and just let the forearm hang down. So then you focus more into stretching over the left ribs and trying to take your left elbow towards your toes. Or you can have the left arm straight. And remember that side angle pose that we did standing. Then you really reach into your fingertips in the same way. You've got to lock the arm muscles to keep the elbow straight. Or you're going for your toes. Okay, if you're going for the toes, then the elbow will probably bend. Lengthen through both sides of the neck. Don't drop your right ear to your shoulder. From here, we roll forwards. Now you are going to come onto hands or forearms. Center yourself between the thighs and just pause there for a few breaths. Relax into the shoulders. Relax into your side body. And then walk your hands all the way up. And we open the left leg out. Bring your right foot in, lifting the chest up and taking your twist. So you twist your chest to bent knee. Make sure the left foot is flexed, toes up, and give it a really good twist. And now we start to go into the side stretch. Lean your left waist towards your left thigh, shoulder towards your knee, and then reaching your right arm straight up over your shoulder. Sink that right thigh down, don't lift off your bum. And then either reaching your right arm over your head like your side angle pose, or bending the elbow and dropping forearm to the top of the head. And you can even push your forearm into your head or towards your head to get more length of that right elbow towards the toes. Or stretching long with the arm, locking the elbow straight, or reaching for toes. Again, if you're going for toes, then the elbow will probably bend, depending on the length of your arms in relationship to your legs and your torso. Make sure you're breathing, guys. And then we're rolling forwards, either onto hands or forearms, directly to the midline between the two thighs, and pause there. Feel that breath again. Soften into your breaths. And then coming all the way up. We're to open that right leg out. We're doing one last seated pose. Your choice, either keeping legs wide or bringing your heels to the edge of your mat. The feet are hip distance or slightly wider apart, or feet touching each other. And we reach forwards, either for your feet or hands for the floor. Each out breath, feeling the backs of the thighs sink deeper into the floor. And then coming all the way up. And it's time for our rest pose, guys. So either lying flat onto your ground, or legs up the wall, or resting on your side, or even lying on your stomach like we did at the very beginning of the class. All of that is good. Find whatever shape or pose feels best for you to completely rest and relax into. Make sure that you're warm and you're comfortable. Dropping down deep into your back body and your spine. Sink your shoulders down. Let the arms get really heavy. Each out breath dropping you deeper into a state of rest and letting go. Soften all the muscles in your whole face. Soften all the muscles in back and sides of neck and the throat. Allow the breath to become really light and gentle. Feeling the body and the mind soften with each breath. And now if your legs are up the wall, you can bend your knees and slide the feet down. And gently start to move the fingers. Wake them up. Make whatever small movements through your body that you need to make now. And then taking in a deep breath, stretching into your body again, or hugging knees to your chest. And carefully rolling onto your side, or gently rocking yourself up. Make your way to sitting. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Thanks, guys. Namaste.